Hello and welcome to UFO Video Addicts. This is a video that I don't usually put up more than one video, but I came across this information just recently, and there have been a few times where, I found a great story or a great video on Reddit, and I would keep a tab open intending to use it in one of my videos, and then when I would go back to it, the information would be gone, the video would be taken down or whatever. And so, this seems like a really good story. So I want to make this video because, I have been saying for the past year that we are not alone on the planet, that I believe that that there are advanced species that live underwater. And it's not, just based on, a feeling that I have. It's based on all of the evidence that's out there. The fact that there are so many reports of UFOs coming in and out of our oceans and lakes. There are many reports of our military, our Navy, and the Russian Navy encountering fleets of UFOs underwater. I thought about it one day how all the stories of all the reports of UFOs that I've ever heard, or at least 95% of all the UFO stories that I've ever heard have always happened here on this planet. All the abductions, all the sightings that go back thousands of years, they all happen on this planet. So it dawned on me that, all of these UFOs, they can't all be visiting. That the reason why we keep running into them is most likely because we're not alone on this planet. So I found this article here. You can see the title. I know someone that works for NOAA. The disclosure rumors are 100% true, and the species in question is aquatic. So I want to just give this a read and, just document it just in case it disappears. At least I made this video. So let me just give this a read. I don't expect anyone to believe me, and that's fine. I know a lot of BS gets posted here for shits and giggles. I'm just sharing a story from a few weeks ago that I feel is relevant due to all the disclosure talk. I have a college friend that landed a job working for NOAA in a pretty high capacity. I won't say more than that to protect their privacy. Around the holidays, me and said friend were catching up, and they shifted the topic to aliens. This friend is very level-headed, and we usually don't talk about stuff like that. It's mostly family talk and work. They asked if I believed in aliens, to which I replied that I'd like to, but we simply don't have enough evidence. Their expression perked up, and they said, "I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to take me absolutely serious." Okay, where's this going, I thought. They never seemed so intense in the conversation before, so I braced myself for some kind of huge personal reveal or something. But they started talking about the Russian submarine incident that happened not too long ago, where supposedly a fire broke out on board a nuclear-powered Russian sub and killed everyone on board. They said that was a cover story that Putin came up with for what really happened. The sub was apparently investigating an underwater base that is controlled by non-human entities. They got too close, and the sub was destroyed by these beings. My friend went on to detail how most world governments are aware of their presence, yet keep it undisclosed because of the ramifications to society it may have. Also because we can't do anything to stop or forcefully reveal them. They told me NOAA has thousands of incidents of contacts with these underwater beings, and that it's fairly common knowledge among certain departments and roles in the organization. They said they have witnessed video, audio, and physical evidence of these beings residing under our oceans, but it is kept under tight wraps by senior officials and whatever government sectors controls NOAA. My friend said that the recent disclosure buzz is legit and had been carefully planned. They said they don't know exactly what details will be provided to the public, but that in general it will be made known that there are other beings occupying our planet and that they are not from another planet and have been here long before us, exactly as I've been saying. They also said these beings actively keep us out of certain parts of the ocean. Apparently, their technology is advanced beyond anything we could come up with to negate the insurmountable pressure at extreme ocean depths. They are able to freely exit the water in their craft without displacing or disturbing it physically. They've been captured innumerable times on sonar, traveling at speeds underwater that are impossible as far as human technology or marine biology is concerned. They also mentioned a place called Lake Vostok and said a very large base was discovered there under the ice and that Russians have control over the operations there. My friend also detailed that they have been witnessed outside of any craft, swimming in the ocean freely by submersible divers and cameras at the bottom of oil rig platforms. They are humanoid and resemble what most people would call the physical gray alien. Oversized head, large dark eyes, no visible ears, small mouths. It's not known how they breathe and move underwater. That's pretty much most of what I was told. They didn't give a date, they just said it will definitely be this year according to what they have been hearing. Apparently, this is going to be a worldwide disclosure, not a US specific thing. Edit. You Blow the Roof Off linked a very interesting post from a while ago that is supposedly another NOAA employee disclosing pretty much the same thing I was told a few weeks ago. Apparently, the post was removed because it contained lots of personal and even contact info for the NOAA employee that they willingly provided. So now, let me go to this story here because I was afraid this one would be gone too, so let me give this one here a read too. By now, many have perchance heard of the mermaid post. It was submitted containing personal information. As a consequence, post was removed. Complaints have been loud and frequent after. Don't post personal information public on Reddit. Speak with the mods to get help with verification if need be. I've decided to repost it word by word, but with personal information removed, which means I am not the author of any of the following text. Hello, I am posting this for an acquaintance that does not meet the Reddit requirements for posting in this sub herself. This is not my information, nor am I in any way related to the situation or any actions taken by her. Everything italics beyond this point is verbatim her story as provided to me. The Navy has worked in conjunction with the government to keep this quiet on all fronts. Other governments have similar systems in place to keep this information strictly in the realm of fiction according to public perception. I am compelled to break my silence and disseminate this information. My colleagues in the organization I've called home for the past 12 years is responsible for keeping one of the greatest genealogical discoveries of all time quiet. The sector I work in is being restructured and downsized, so I'm going to lose my job in May. This post should expedite this process. And then they give identifying information, which has been redacted. I began my career with the Redacted office located in Redacted. I hold an MS in Biological Sciences from Redacted and a PhD in Wildlife and Fishery Scientist from Redacted. In 2012, there was an incident of a few beached whales that were investigated by NOAA and a team from the Navy. This was very thoroughly hushed up immediately afterwards. The whales were full of perfectly circular incisions where large chunks of their flesh had been removed, like cylinders of meat essentially. At first, we thought this had been done after the beaching, but we learned that they washed up that way. What really caught everyone's attention was the sheared flesh around the circumference of the incisions, as if they were burned out with lasers. We were all baffled, as we'd never seen anything like this on marine life. Then we got a call informing us that a small team would be conducting a hydrographic survey of the area using the echo sounder of a local vessel. We typically use a technique called multi-beam sonar to scan map the sea floor in outstanding detail. The data we collected is processed by various parties and is usually uploaded to online databases. We were told that this would not be the case for this expedition. Long story short, we found irrefutable evidence of an advanced humanoid species living under our oceans. Using the multi-beam sonar, we found their dwelling areas and also what appears to be underwater vehicles of some kind. The creatures themselves were tracked by the Navy over the course of 2 weeks using a submersible equipped with special deep-sea observation equipment. The creatures displayed speeds of 70+ knots, faster than the sailfish, which is widely considered to be the fastest creature in the ocean. They also were recorded emitting sounds that resemble marine communication And instruments also captured the emission of precision sonar blasts that damaged the hull of the submersible, according to the Navy report. There is footage of the creatures, including juveniles. The Navy did not share the video with us, but an officer I spoke with gave the following description. They didn't look real. They looked like computer animation or something. They have a glow around their entire body, and they move really fast, like even small movements like turning their heads or moving an arm was like watching a high frame rate video. They look nothing like any fictional depiction out there. They do not have a fishtail. They are completely humanoid, but are extremely thin, tall. Their bodies were covered in a material resembling elemental mercury that looked like it was moving. They were very interested in the submersible and seemed to know they were being observed, as a few times they would swim off and then come back with more creatures. We observed at max 5 of them at once, varying in sizes but otherwise identical in appearance. Their eyes were completely white, and there was no visible hair nor any feature that implied male-female. No visible ears, and the mouths were wide and lipless. We flashed sequences of light at them, sound, and even extended a robotic arm on the submersible to try and get some kind of physical sample DNA from the specimens or the water nearest to them. We don't know how they were swimming, as they weren't wading or moving their bodies the way a fish or even a human would need to underwater. They were capable of just moving rapidly in any direction without the need to change positions or swim. In fact, during the majority of the observations, they were just floating motionless without gaining buoyancy. Now, there were also crafts observed via sonar, some very large. They would move faster than anything should be capable of moving underwater. They were not seen or recorded on video, just on sonar. They would at times disappear completely while being observed, as if they left the water or cloaked themselves. We have 2 weeks of data on just this one area. We were made aware that this is one of the many spots around the world where these creatures reside hidden from view. A briefing that I was able to read during a meeting indicated that the Mariannas Trench is where the largest concentration of these creatures reside, and that they seem to be completely unaffected by the depths. Structures believed to be their dwelling units have been mapped. They are perfectly hexagonal and joined together like a honeycomb. Their composition is unknown. The Navy confiscated most of the hard evidence. All we have are some sonar readings. They are only anomalous if you know what you are looking for. I want everyone to know this information. We are not alone, but they aren't from outer space. In order to exist at these depths and under astronomical pressure, these beings are either invincible or they have evolved so far beyond us that they have some kind of technology that negates both of those dangers. This is actively being covered up by every lettered organization and by our military. Other nations are aware of these beings, and I believe some authentic videos may even be mingled in all of the doctored stuff. The sightings in the Kiryat Yam were authentic. We mapped a collection of their dwellings off the coast near Cyprus Island. So now none of these links here work. They go to a blank page, but you know, this base, I know I'm definitely biased here, you know, and this might be a confirmation bias, but I think the evidence is out there. I have a bunch of videos where I believe that, you know, I've found what could possibly be, you know, some type of alien civilization, you know, like they said it's a hexagonal shape, right? When I was looking down there, I was trying not to think like a human being. I was trying to think like a being that has been on this planet for millions of years. And, you know, what would their architecture look like underwater? You know, which would be nothing like we would build. So anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll keep looking for things like this. Take care.